Alright, so we stopped in the last video with all these red marks for the general side and bottom reduction to then give the top more shape without taking away from the top, right? I mean, eventually we're going to kind of have to smooth some of these lines over, but that's then and not now. So let's just go ahead and pick back up with our red lead removal. I miss playing that game, Red Dead Redemption. I hadn't gamed in like about 3 years because the motherboard went bad, and I just didn't buy another one. So I rebuilt it and then just gave it to my son. But I miss playing. It's one of the games I miss playing for sure. I mean, I was gaming before probably half the people in this video were watching this video were alive, right? So yeah, I remember when the Nintendo came out, and the original Nintendo and all that stuff. So I had one at my dad's house, didn't have one at my mom's. So giving up gaming was not an easy thing to do, and I still miss it, even though I haven't done it in it's probably been like 4 or 5 years or something like that. So we moved back to Maryland in September of 21, and so they had already picked our household goods up by that time, for at least a couple of weeks. So basically I haven't genuinely gamed since then. So, well, it was before that even, but so I guess it's only been 3 years. No, not that it really matters, but anyway, I still miss it 3 years later. I just have other things like this that I put my time into now, and but it doesn't mean I still don't have that old itch, you know. Man, this area is becoming more problematic. It was obvious this is where a twig was gonna, or at least try to come out. So the wood, it was forming it, and that's why the wood is a little bit tougher here, but it's starting to catch the further down we go. So who knows how long ago that was, if it's getting worse as we go on. The twig obviously fell off, and the branch had started healing itself over from it. So there we go. Alright. The closer I get to this top, the more nervous I get, to be honest. I was starting to think, I was like, man, why in the world did I start putting marks on the top of the wand? And then I remember they had that V shape, so. Oof. Smooth some of these out. Alright. It's about getting to the point where I have to start working on this top of this wand. To bring it in with the sides. I really don't want to do, because I like the thought that it's going to be this this way, when that could all change with any one of these strokes. Okay, let's take a look before we get a little bit overzealous. Alright, we're still good here. You can see this area is a little flared, so it's going to have to come down more than I realized. Okay. Okay. So we're starting to get this curve back in our wand, but I think it's more just this tip needs to be brought in more on that side. And I'm not quite sure what that's going to do for the overall shape. Of course, unfortunately we're hitting this, which I'll have to put some of that wood putty put his stuff in there. I haven't worked with that yet, so that could be interesting. I don't know how long it takes to dry. Some of the stuff will change color when it dries. I'm not just talking about just like getting lighter, but mostly like wood filler for like drywall related stuff. But okay, now from this angle it looks like this area here is thicker than this area here, which is going to be a problem. So let's go ahead and start reducing some of that, just that little bit more. Really hate to do that because it means I got to take part of this in. From here, there, this whole area can kind of come in a little bit. Yeah, overall it's not bad. It's almost in the final shape I'd like it to be in. Okay, you can see some little things in here. Just need smoothed out. There we go. Okay. Okay, let's take a look before we get ourselves in trouble that we can't compensate for. Alright. Not bad. It still looks a little thick here. There's a little ridge there, so it's probably really what it is. Okay. Alright. Looking here, it's pretty good. It's pretty straight. This side just kind of bows a little bit. So, do some real light work there. And real light work there to bring this kind of straight. This is, I don't know if I can do much more about that outside of just the general reduction. Can't do anything, can't do as much about this curve anymore. That's okay. I mean, that's not the focal point, so. Alright, let's take a look here. Over there. This needs to come in a little bit more to give shape to that wand area. Okay. This needs to come in. Where is that? It's on this side, okay. So it's up here. Yep, you can see the area which we just marked. And part of that's because this area chipped out, and so it leaves a visual distortion. So let's just go ahead and work on this. It's taking off a little bit more than I wanted. Okay. A little bit of a void in that wood right there. Smooth that up a little bit. We're gonna have to anyhow. There. Okay. We got a little ridge. Okay. Now we're just kind of starting to put that final shape on the end here. Getting some vein tear out there, but let's take a look at it from this angle. It's actually not too bad. Where's the focal point? It's up here at the top tip. The area needs to come down just a little bit. It's fine. This area needs to smooth out just a little bit. Now match the area we just did there. Okay, let's look here. Pretty good. Although it looks like I have a little dip right here almost, so I'll need to take this in to kind of reduce that some. I mean, you can't hardly see it, but I saw it. Okay, let's move that down a little bit to right about there. And then, so it's not looking too bad. Okay. This side is from this angle though, this area right here. If you look at it from the bottom. Yeah, okay. That needs to come in. This needs to come in. And then I think it'll give it a more gradual curve. A little more gradual curve here. Just a little lumpy and I don't like it. Okay. Alright, we have to get serious about the tip though. Always an area of concern. So let's just go ahead and start reducing some of this in general. And now since some of these areas just need to be smoothed out a little bit, I can't do the really long strokes here, so it's better just to flip the chisel over before I get myself into trouble. Because I don't know, I mean there's still wood on here where you could recover from something like that, but it's getting slim, and that's going to require more careful work than if I hadn't paid attention. Okay. A little bit more aggressive here on the tip because I'm going to have to fashion the tip anyhow. And I feel like there's like a hump right there. Oh, it's because the tip of the wand. Okay. The area is just not cooperating now. Pretty pleased so far. Pretty pleased. Most of the rest of this can just be done with a file, and then I'll smooth that out. I'd like the tip to be a little thinner though. It's not quite as tapered as I would care for. But let's make. Still have some red. How dare I? All right. So let's take a look. This is our frame of reference here. So we've got some more stuff to do here because it still juts out just a little bit, not much. just enough that it needs to be brought in. Okay, let's look at it from here. Not bad. A little ridge there. We need to put that in, and let's just go with that for now and see where that gets us. Okay. Still trying to think about what to name wand for, and this is about the time where I start to think about naming something with these wands when I'm getting closer to the end. There's no point naming it if it's not going to last, right? And I don't know what to name it. Okay, this tip needs to come in some more here, which means this area does too. Let's go ahead and go ahead and do that. Okay. This isn't the only place, but when tips are cooperating like this is where I get a little nervous when I'm starting to reduce them down, because like we had that one wand and it was great until I put just a little bit too much pressure on the sanding to sand the tip down more evenly, and then it broke. So part of the game, but not one I'm going to be a fan of. Okay. Alright, I think we just need to file and smooth some of these areas out, and then we can take a look at it. Still have no freaking idea what to call this thing, but if I can get something in my head that tells me kind of what this is, what it means to me, then I might be able to roll with that. But let's go ahead and use the file, and I can't use my more aggressive files like I normally would because this wood's kind of brittle and fragile. You notice I haven't reduced the handle much at all, and that's just because it doesn't really feel like it needs it. It's going to be a thicker wand, it's going to have a thicker handle, and whoever ends up with a wand can just use a file or some sandpaper and take that down to where they want. So I have to be careful filing on this curve. Actually, I need to pick these areas clean so the edges get filed. We're gonna get through that. What time is it? 18 minutes. All right. Pick some of these clean, and then next video is basically just gonna be this is a carving, this little carving chisel that I'm using. Works pretty well. You can also use it to smooth insides. If it keeps catching on the file, then I can carve just a little bit, carve a little bit of this area out too, and it helps. And we don't have to get all of it out. We want to get as much of it out as we really can. So if we're going to put wood filler in here, then we want it to be kind of uniform. Okay. Sorry, I'm trying to concentrate here, so I want to alter these things as little as possible, because I'm not gonna be able to match the way Mother Nature did it. Not quite that good. Okay. I think that's good enough, at least right here. Go double check here. So I got a little bit more. Okay, we started going down this one, got most of it out. There we go, some at the top. I could probably use a stiff brush and get some of this, but I'd be afraid that it would start to leave marks on the side of the wood. Because if my thumb can do it with very little effort, then a brush that's going to be stiff enough to get in here and pull this stuff out is probably going to do it too. Yeah, I don't know if you can see it or not. It's actually pretty deep right here, all things considering. So it's pretty significant. Okay, I think we're about there. This is a pretty wide one, so it'll take a little bit longer. Let's see if we can get out just with this. Just keeps coming. Alright, I think we're down to wood there. Still see some I missed here. Okay. Alright, let's go around the rest of the one and pick the rest of it out. I know I'm over 20 minutes at this point, but it's alright. Okay, I think the wood in here is just going to be stained from the darker vein here. I can feel this continues down. I'm not going to push it though. It continues down into here. I'm not going to go down that far because I don't need to, and it's not going to gain me anything. Let's see, this edge here is pretty thin, so I'll probably, there we go. There. It was kind of splintering a little bit on that side, so I just felt it was better just to take a few small shavings from it to stabilize that side a little bit more. Oops, see a little bit of red here. There we go. Alright, this should be good enough. Right there anyways. These are going to be a little hard. I may skip them because I can't really get in there. I don't really have anything to get in there reliably. Yeah, I'm just going to skip those. Let's put it in these here. Okay. Alright, I think we've gotten rid of all that, so the next video we'll pick up and we will be filing. We're almost ready to sand. We got to kind of smooth everything out first, and then we can start the sanding process, and then it won't be long after that that the lawn will be done. Well, I say that, but I mean, going on vacation next Saturday, so. All right, there we go, getting close.